very much and welcome back mtazamaji wa Mizpah Tv kwenye kipindi cha Nuru ya Asubuhi. Tumekuwa na kipindi cha juzi ya kuogofya and right now I'm joined by Rugongo. Karibu sana, my brother. Yes.
Yes, good morning.
Morning to you.
How are you doing?
I am fine.
Yes,
bado unafuga?
Fuga lazima.
You know, sometimes it is ni ile bishop hakuleta hadithi ile. I think I was interested so much na ile huko kwa prison, but you know you've seen how gradually mtu anaingia kwa robbery.
Yes.
Upole without even knowing.
Yes, and actually using history as a some sort of something tunaweza angalia tukichambua story ya leo.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you have for us today?
Yes, today you're discussing about having a vision. We start by this we define what a vision is. A vision is the thinking about the future or thinking and planning about the future rather from imagination. Unafikiria kuhusu future from kufikiria kuhusu future you think about the future from imagination. You think about the future from imagination. You're thinking about that is having a vision. And if you listen to that story kweli alikuwa ameona, alikuwa anatakaga yani alikuwa na feel kama kukua mzitajika is something.
Yeah, he admired the fame.
Alikuwa ameona hivyo, hata mimi naweza kuwa kama this person mwenye anashtua mpaka serikali, ninaweza hata mimi siwezi mind, That was the kind of vision. And you see what you envision inaanza kukutafuta in a kind of kuna vile inaanza kukutafuta. And it's very evident that ukiangalia ukisikiza vile story yake ametuelezea ilianza kumtafuta. Yeah, we've heard about him having a dream about being in prison even before he was in prison. That is about imagination. Most of it alikuwa ameimagine yana baadaye kuna veneza kwa jela aje because that was something maybe subconsciously alikuwa tuna envision. And it's very very important to walk in vision, because whether positive or negative vile tu amesema what you envision, what your mind thinks about mostly inakutafutaga tu. You think about success inakutafutaga tu. You think about either failure itakutafuta tu in one way or another if you don't do anything about it. And that is why we are being told words are very very important. What you say is very important, because what you put out there looks for a way to find you. And there is importance about having a vision. What does having a vision do? Today is Wellness Wednesday. I want us to bring this idea about having a vision and the importance to your mind. One, if you're having a vision, then you feel like you're having a purpose in life. When you're trying depression akuja because you don't know what you should be doing, you don't know why you should even be doing it. And it's very very important that you have a vision, because it keeps you feeling like you have a purpose. Inakupatia kind of a purpose, because niko na vision ya kutaka kitu fulani. Kwa hivyo maisha yanaishi hapa, it's for something that is to come. So it gives you a purpose, it gives you a reason to wake up every day. It gives you a reason ya kujituma kila siku, kila asubuhi kiamka. It gives you that reason to keep pushing for that. Inakupatia that purpose, that sense of purpose. The other thing, it keeps your mind at peace. If things don't work out, you'll be like, it was for the future. The future means from the next minute. It could be 5 years, it could be a week, it could be a months, several months, years, several years. That ukuagi umejiwekea timeline, because it's something you can envision. Yeye kidogo ni akuwa mdogo ni he was thinking about robbery.
Si mbaya.
The time alipata dream of being in prison, there's some certain things you see, there could be some unconscious maybe.
And I also think now the background, his background and his history and his suffering also contributed, because amefika mahali ameng'ang'ana kuwa mechanic, then there are these guys coming with a lot of money, with a lot of beers, alcohol in the vehicles. I think he admired all those
because kind of... I'm coming from a very humble background.
Yes.
And then you guys are here and you're giving, I'm seeing you mko na lifestyle fulani na mko tu. Why not? I would admire that. Alafu to make matters worse, kuna mtu ninaangalia pia serikali na muogopa na anaishi maisha mazuri. Why not? you know, about having a gun, unasikia alisiko mpaka na bunduki, because it was not an issue for him at some point. So it's very, very, very important to have a vision. You see, it gives you a sense of, sasa yeye alipokuwa neighbor yako na shida, until aliposhiko. And then I want us to bring the same story yake. He got another vision. He wanted to preach the word of God.
Yes.
Same person, different visions. So visions can change from time to time, and they change depending on how your life takes it, you know, especially negative visions. So when visions negative, it's very hard, and you need to change them from time. Unakaa hapana hiyo vision, hapana si vision mzuri.
And you cannot, yeah, and there are times you can think of two visions.
Yes.
Sio mbaya, because let me give you an example. You are an engineer, but you cannot be an engineer and at the same time your vision iko kwa nitaweka hoteli. Nitaweka I think that's madness.
You need to, okay, kuna maybe the only hotel engineering you can do, maybe ujenge.
No, I'm talking of at you are managing that hotel.
But jenga hotel yako, it's fine because you're an engineer. Then let other people that know the hotel industry do it.
But you can also be an engineer, but at the same time, imagine an engineer preaching.
Yes.
You know, now that's something in a makes sense.
Yes.
An engineer, but an engineer serving kwa madhabahu, ama engineer doing ABCD with my engineering.
Yes.
Lakini huwezi kuja uniambie Kin ati unafanya hotel ama unafanya engineering, then ati vision yako iko kwa TV. TV utakuwa presenter mnoma. Ama utakuwa okay, wacha hiyo inaweza work anyway, kwa sababu kama unajua kuongea unaweza kuwa, but wacha nikupe ingine. Hauwezi kuwa haujui kukimbia. Acha tuilete hivi. Haujui kukimbia, wewe si mkimbiaji. Athlete, that's what I mean. Haujui, hauwezi kukimbia.
Kimbia. Umeenda sana ile
ya dogi. Then uko pale uende unasoma course ya catering, lakini imagination zako ni ukishinda gold
kwa race na
Kipchoge huko ati manzi unaocha hiyo ndio vision inakusumbua venye utakuwa mkimbiaji. I think hapo kuna
of course your visions have to be aligned. Lazima zikuwe kind of aligned. Create a vision, and these are some of the things that you need to do when you're creating a vision. The first one is create that space. You know, if it's easy for you, Jose, because you're in this space of the media, it's easy for you to visualize about, you know, something in media, because that is your space. Mtu kwa hoteli utapata watu mwenye wako hoteli anataka kufungua hoteli yake. Mtu wako kwa maybe dereva ama makanga anataka kuwa na matatu yake. You know, mtu wako maybe for something music industry anataka kuwa na studio yake. The space you're creating for yourself is enough for you. It's very important for you to create a vision. It's very important. Your space tunarudi kwa ile tulikuwa tunasema the aspects of wellness, the physical space, but now this one we're talking about now, the environment. Your environmental space, your environmental aspect of wellness. What are you surrounding yourself? What is your environment for that vision you're having? Ama what is your environment yako hadi kupata vision? Unaweza kapa hivi by the way, but uko mahali ukienda like it's not giving you the kind of vision you'd want. Mtu wako kwa hospitali ama mtu anauza dawa, he's a pharmacist, akona ka chemist kake pale, ni ngumu upate mtu akifungua nini marimari somewhere. Chances are because of the space they create ama because of the environment they are in, what the kind of vision they'll have is probably a clinic, you know, something specializing in one aspect of health. Maybe watoto ana specialize na watoto, na specialize na certain disease. Want to that kind of vision because of the environmental space that you're in. It's very, very important to create that space for yourself. The other thing, be a risk taker. Yes. Huwezi kuhukumiwa kifo alafu uko tu hapa hivi unataka kutoka. You know, some things just don't make sense. Ukwambia sasa najaribu kuimagine na ujue jela litatoka siku moja. Na the verdict was it's until you
kaput uende
until alafu unakuja kuambia you have, you know, sasa kuambia watu going to that extent and starting to preach, it's about taking the risk. Chances are they may lead you nowhere ama they may land you in trouble, but risk taking is one aspect of following your vision, because what you may see may not be what people see, may not be what I see, and it may not be of any use ukijaribu kuexplainia watu chenye your vision.
And on another nini, and the Christians have mercy on me, musinichape. Na mimi usema I would rather die on my knees or on my feet rather than dying on my knees. Juko umenielewa? As in, sometimes you take risk. Don't just go on your knees. Kuomba on your knees na maanisha kuomba.
Yes.
Lakini hautoki kwenda kutafuta. And that is what you are talking, we are calling risk. Umeomba risk sasa kwenda. Maombi si mbaya, lakini sasa risk kufanya.
It's the Bible has said faith without action is dead.
Yes.
So you cannot be praying and staying in the house expecting things to
That is why nimesema would rather die on my knees or on my feet.
Omba, wewe nini magoti, omba, but then ukiamuka unaenda kunachapa haso.
Kutafuta.
Ndivyo unajituma, itajipa in one way or
okay. Let me be honest with let me be radical kidogo. Spending, tuseme umepatiwa 12 hours per day. Spending 9 hours praying, then uende ukafanya kazi 2 hours. I think hiyo ikufanya ati ukue more spiritual.
No, okay, maybe if you look at it this way, maybe hiyo siku ulikuwa umeamua.
Nimesema aje, nimesema percentage ya maisha yako. Ndio nimeiweka na hivyo. At you spending your 90% on your knees. Ati alafu una spend in fact you will become poor. You can spend 10% of your time ukiomba, lakini ingine ukifanya kazi. Do you know why? People wamechange ku praise Mungu ama ku worship Mungu, wamechange wamethani ku worship Mungu ni lazima ukuje kwa kanisa. They forget that, you know, like a pastor who is committed to serve a full-time ministry. Huyo haina shida, hiyo ni full-time minister. Hiyo anapaswa kukua hapo, kuongea ukweli tu. In fact, time yake mobi inapaswa kukua akifanya hivyo. Lakini wewe uko hapa, uniambia utaspend 90% of your time praying, ama ukiwa kwa kanisa and you go and spend 10% of your time, you will die poor. You are supposed to do the vice versa. Na wewe sisi wenye hatuyuko kwa full time ministry, what we are supposed to do, Apostle was here. Apostle kama alikuwa hapa, kama hajafika mahali yeye ni full time minister, anaendelea kupreach by doing what? Ameketi hapa chini, amepreach by giving his story. Ametuonyesha how God anaweza kutoa kwa prison. When you are driving your car, wewe unabeba abiria. When you drive umeajiriwa huko unabeba abiria, what are you doing? Let people call you pastor because you are in that kind of environment kenye watu wanajuaga huku hauwezi pata mwokovu, but you are there telling people no, God anaokoa mpaka madereva, Mungu anaokoa mpaka matani boy. You know, you are still serving God through your work. In fact, ni kama wewe ni full time in anything I am doing, nina praise Mungu wangu in anything that I am doing. Lakini usiseme utakuja kupraise Mungu na utafuti pesa. Kama wewe ni fundi wa mbao, siimbia Mungu madhani wako jakaneli. Do it, let people know God. Iko mahali penye nilienda nikapata mzee mwingine ameintroduce and I admired the introduction. A lady alisema ati I can see the old man there, anaitwa baba nani. Huyu mzee sasa wakati alimuintroduce, unajua alimwambia je, huyu mzee sisi tunajua ajui kitu kingine, anajua Mungu. Sisi kuanzia tukiwa wadogo tunajua huyu ni mzee wa Mungu. Anajua Mungu. Yani hivyo ndio watu wanamjua. Huyu anajua, na he was a teacher. But wanajua, he had a profession.
Yes.
Lakini wanajua teacher mwenye anajua Mungu ni huyu.
Yes.
Huyu hajui statement without God. That is it. But si ati ya kufanya kazi. Alikuwa anafanya job. Yes.
It's very important to have those visions.
Yes.
And also working towards them. And that is, to set goals is also something else that is very important. Set goals. Ndivyo pia, like just saying, usichanganye masaa, you know, because Mungu ana bless the work of your hands. So if those hands are not working, then kidogo blessings zitatoka. So it's very good to have goals. Set those goals. These goals, what they do, walking in vision. You know, kuna hizi goals, they are like stepping stones to what you want to achieve. You know, that vision that you have. Once you have that vision, tumesema, your mind settles down because in a field it has a purpose of walking in vision. Mimi nataka kitu fulani, and once you set the goals, ukisha set hizo goals, you get to have like kila siku unaamka unatik nafaa kufanya hivi by this time. You set goals, you know, to achieve. Make sure you have those goals. These goals keep you in check, keep you in track, zinakaa uki. I'm pretty sure 2024 is in a few months and we had resolutions pale kwa na tutapatana tena hapa tuangalie at the end of the year which ones have you ticked, maybe things zimeenda but at least at least me tick some of those things, you know, because well it's very very important. If you had a vision pale at the end of the year, well si lazima ikuwe pia basi ni ya mwaka, but kama ulikuwa umeiona na mwaka at the end of, unajua kuna zile visions zenye ni ziko timed alafu na zingine ni gradual. Kuna zingine ni gradual. Mimi siwezi amka tu kidogo nitoshane kama just zangu ni vision kama ni gradual. Take step by step, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very very important to set these goals, set realistic goals, that way your mind is at peace, that way your wellness is in check, because it is very very important to walk in vision.
Yes. Because when you talk of vision, you can, kuna zile short term where unaweza weka short na kuna ile unaweza weka long. Na hizo long ni very tricky. Because zile long unasema nitakuwa na shamba yangu, nitakuwa nimejenga, they are long. So if you don't start working kwa hizo vision right now, zita affect ile long.
And actually in most cases short term long term visions are driven by the short term vision. What you want pale, if what you're doing up a short term is not in line with what you want long term, you need to check. You need to change either the long term or change the short term. And mostly because it's in the short term, you need to check, because what you do on the short term vision becomes what builds up to be the long term vision. It is very very important to have, you know, all these ones, the short term and the long term, because
and I've admired what the banks are doing, especially when they give group loans to groups, and yes, they'll calculate it at every month you are supposed to pay 20,000, but what they do, they cut the 20,000 into weeks, and they tell you you are supposed to pay 5,000 every week. The reason why they are doing this, because ukigoja ile 20 utakosa.
Hata unaweza kwa but ukijua
tano itakuwa it is easier for you. Lakini ukipewa, unaona ukipewa loan saizi kin, that is mind of wanadamu. Ukipewa 100,000 saizi uambie ulipe after 1 year na haulizwi, what they are waiting for ni 1 year ishe uwape, I'm telling you mtasumbuana. But if wewe utajita kama mkutano uzidivide mpaka uziweke per day, if it's 100,000 per day I'll be paying this, you will work hard to pay it every day.
Very true. Sasa nikikuitisha 100 days Wednesday, nikikuitisha 100 from Monday, nikikuitisha 100 Friday,
itakuwa
nikwambia unipatie mbao leo, kisha nikwambia unipe mbao in 5 days tutakuja tatu. Na utaona kama ni kama changa kubwa, but it's the same amount other than, you know, that timeline. So check on your short term and your long term visions, because it is very very important.
Yes,
being Wednesday, I hope you get to live life more. You know, we're actually in tumefika mwezi katikati, tuko katikati ya mwezi, but I hope that you're also doing well, you're also keeping safe, and that you're also being hopeful of you know, of just life, and because life is beautiful. Nikukumbusha to never let the sun go down without appreciating its warmth. For dawn maybe to never let the sun go down without appreciating its warmth. For dawn maybe to tamkin Rugongo mpaka wakati mwingine utakapojaliwa kupatana. The Lord bless you and may the Lord keep you.
Yes, and let's go for a break. We'll be back after this short break to wrap up the program. Don't go away.